Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Future of Fashion podcast. My name is Victoire, and I am joined today by Dr. Carolyn Mair. Hello.
Hello.
And thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Oh, you're very welcome.
We are looking forward to having you as a panelist this evening to further discuss the future of fashion. But we'd like to have your insight regarding psychology in fashion, because this is something that you are, we believe, an expert in, and we'd love to know more about what are your thoughts on this subject.
Thank you.
So first of all, you've been at the forefront of connecting psychology with fashion. What initially drew you into making this connection? And why do you think it is so important to connect both of these matters?
Okay, well, that's a great question. What drew me to it was that I've always loved fashion. I've always seen the power of fashion to help boost self-esteem, self-confidence, the way we think about ourselves. But I was also aware of the problems within the fashion industry, the fact that it was exclusive rather than being inclusive, harming body image, harming self-esteem, doing damage where I believe that the fashion industry can be a really strong, powerful force for good. And so as I studied psychology for years and years and years, and then I wanted really to use psychology to make a difference, to help people. And I was very fortunate that I was able to go to London College of Fashion and propose bringing psychology to the college because there was no psychologist there. And for me, that just sounded absolutely ridiculous, because fashion is about identity, about who we are. It's our second skin. It's the closest thing to our bodies, and we all wear clothes. And so it was these issues and the multiple problems I've mentioned. Some, it's exclusive, but there were a lot of other issues which still remain, unfortunately. But I do believe things are changing now.
That's fantastic to hear. And we are part of the change.
Absolutely, we are, and that's so important.
Fantastic. So here in the Future of Fashion show, our goal really is to promote inclusion and diversity in fashion because we strongly believe that these values are extremely important, especially in this day and age. From a psychological perspective, what impact do you believe inclusivity and diversity represent in fashion? And what does it have on positive impact, both on individuals, but also on communities?
Well, this is another great and very, very important question. So it matters in terms of belonging. So we have a fundamental need to belong, a psychological need to belong, to feel part of something. And when we're excluded from fashion, we feel ignored, and that damages our self-esteem. And when our self-esteem is low, it harms us in multiple ways. So we don't engage with people in a good way. We might not even be able to get a job or the job we want. We might not be able to hold our job. So fashion is much more than just the material product, the end product. Fashion is a tool for helping us demonstrate who we are and for people to understand the way we want to be perceived. So fashion, in terms of being inclusive, means that for the individual, they can engage, they can feel represented in fashion, they can feel part of the zeitgeist, they can engage and be part of what's going on in the world. But for society, it has a further impact in that it can help reduce stigma. It can help people understand that the fashion industry's stereotype, very, very narrow stereotype of what is considered beautiful. I always do this in inverted commas, but what is considered beautiful by the fashion industry is something that 99.9% of the population are not. And so by expanding what is considered beautiful, what is represented in fashion, does away with that narrow stereotype. It challenges it, and it helps change what we consider as like fashion, that fashion is something that everybody, 2 words there, can engage with and be the best they can be.
That's very well said. And this is something that we are strongly trying to change and promote.
Yeah.
And we're very happy again to have you on the panel conversation this evening to further discuss all that.
Thank you.
And because the name of the show is literally the future of fashion, we'd like to know, where would you like to see the future to be when it comes to fashion, especially in marketing, in branding, in customer experience? And the way you implement psychology as well, where do you think we can take all that in the right direction?
Well, I think the future of fashion has to change. People are more knowledgeable now. People look for an evidence base. In all those areas you said, marketing in particular, psychology is used really to push the idea that we have these unfulfilled needs, that we're not as good as we could be, rather than helping us be even better than we are, is telling us we need to fix these problems about ourselves. We need to sort ourselves out and become this thing that they're selling. We must have that thing. So I think in marketing, super important that psychology has a turnaround, because they do use psychology, but they don't use it in a way that is human-based, I would say, and not a way that is, in my opinion, is not really ethical, and just playing on people's vulnerabilities. So, and marketing, absolutely. Branding has to be more inclusive. We have to move away from this 0.1% of the population where, you know, we see fashion represented on very, very tall, very, very slim, very young, very Eurocentric. Still, after all these years, that's hugely problematic. That has to change. Tokenism has to go away. What we want to see is more variety. We want to see people like us, and then we know what the clothes are going to look like on us. It's simple as that. So in all areas, but in terms of customer insights, the only way we can really understand what the customer wants is to look at the psychology, because psychology is the scientific study of human behaviour. If we want to study human behaviour to understand the why people engage with fashion as much as the what they buy, then we need to look to psychology. So I'm a bit biased probably, but I think the future of fashion really needs psychological input. It needs people who care about humanity, who care about people, who care about well-being. We talk about health and well-being now, a buzzword, you know, it's like wellness industry, but that has to come from an evidence base that psychology could bring. So.
Fantastic. And I strongly believe that this resonates with a lot of people in our audience. And this evening, during the panel conversation, we know that what you are going to say will definitely resonate with the public.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Carolyn.
so much. Thank you.